Right now, somewhere in a glass boardroom, there is a corporate executive staring at a map of the United States.
Oh, yeah. Probably sweating.
Oh, absolutely. Because they're holding this billion-dollar capital expenditure budget and, a ticking 24-month clock.
Right.
And if they choose the wrong zip code for their new manufacturing hub, the supply chain collapses, product launches are delayed.
And CEO likely gets fired.
Exactly. The CEO is out. So site selection is definitely not just about throwing a dart at a map. It is this massive, high-stakes hunt for certainty.
Especially in an incredibly volatile global economy like we have today.
Yes, exactly. And today we are pulling back the curtain on exactly how that process works, because we actually got our hands on a fascinating internal playbook.
Yeah, this document is incredible.
It really is. It was published on July 16th, 2026 by the Fulton County Industrial Development Agency, or the FCIDA.
Right, the FCID.
And it outlines the exact metrics and these hidden indicators that corporate site selectors use to decide which towns get billion-dollar economic booms.
And which ones just get bypassed entirely, which is harsh but true.
It is. Okay, let's unpack this. Our mission for this deep dive is to basically decode the secret indicators that prove a region is truly ready for business.
Right.
And to show you, the listener, the invisible architecture of economic development that's happening right in your own backyard.
Because it is a high-stakes world that most people, they only ever see the end result of.
Like the ribbon cutting, right?
Exactly. You see the ribbon-cutting ceremony on the local news, but you don't see the, 3 years of ruthless risk mitigation that led to that exact moment.
Mm-hmm.
And the Fulton County IDA document is so compelling because it forces this total mindset shift. Site selectors, they aren't acting like real estate agents.
Right. They aren't just trying to figure out, where could this company go?
No, not at all. They are highly specialized risk managers. And the central question they're trying to answer is, which of these regions can actually guarantee our timeline?
Because the timeline is everything.
It's everything. When an enterprise is expanding, they're usually doing it because their production capacity is redlining. They need a facility online in 24 to 76 months, which, in the world of commercial construction, that is practically tomorrow.
Okay, wait, let me push back on that framework right out of the gate. Because if you follow local politics, or just read the business section, the conventional wisdom is that site selection is just a race to the bottom.
Ah, right. The bidding war idea.
Yeah, it's supposed to be this massive municipal bidding war. The assumption is always that these mega corporations just pit cities against each other.
Yeah, and they just go to whichever county throws the biggest, heaviest bag of taxpayer money at them.
Exactly. Isn't that how it works?
It's actually the most pervasive myth in economic development.
Yeah.
And the FCI playbook dismantles it pretty quickly.
Oh, really? So money doesn't matter?
Well, no. Do the financials have to make sense? Absolutely. The math has to work.
Yeah.
But the absolute top priority for a site selector isn't just the sheer size of the incentive package.
Okay, then what is it?
It's the clarity. The clarity and transparency of those incentives. That's signal one.
Interesting.
Yeah, an opaque or overly complicated tax break program that requires annual votes by a local city council. That creates an unacceptable level of operational risk.
Oh, I see. Because if the political winds shift in 3 years, that tax abatement you built into your decade-long financial forecast just vanishes.
Right.
And suddenly your operational costs spike by 20%.
Precisely. And risk managers hate that. What's fascinating here is that site selectors are essentially risk managers hunting for certainty. They want structured, predictable frameworks.
Right.
The playbook explicitly points to 3 specific types of incentives that they just love to see because they are quantifiable from day one.
Okay, what are they?
They look for standardized property tax abatements, sales tax exemptions on equipment, and mortgage recording tax exemptions.
Okay, let's break down the mechanics of those, because I think people hear tax exemption and their eyes just totally glaze over.
Oh, for sure. It sounds like dry accounting stuff.
Right. But the scale we're talking about here changes the fundamental math of a business. Let's take the mortgage recording tax exemption.
Okay.
If a company takes out a $500 million commercial mortgage to build a massive semiconductor fab or a robotics plant,
Yeah, huge money.
a local recording tax of just 1% means they have to cough up $5 million in straight cash just to file the paperwork at the county clerk's office.
Which is painful.
Extremely. So waiving that isn't just a nice perk. it keeps $5 million in liquid capital inside the business on day one.
Right, which they can then immediately deploy to buy equipment or hire people.
Exactly.
And that ties directly into the next one, the sales tax exemption. Outfitting a modern advanced manufacturing facility means buying tens or even hundreds of millions of dollars worth of precision machinery.
Yeah, robots aren't cheap.
Exactly. If a region offers a transparent sales tax exemption on that specific equipment, the capital expenditure required to get the factory operational drops dramatically.
Right.
But again, the mechanism that really matters is predictability. Site selectors are comparing multiple regions simultaneously.
Right, so they're looking at County A and County B side by side.
Yes, and if County A has a transparent by-the-book incentive framework and County B says, oh, we'll negotiate something custom, but it might take 6 months of local hearings.
Oh, County B is done.
Exactly. County B is immediately crossed off the list. The ambiguity is just too expensive.
Okay, so assuming the financial math clears the hurdle and the incentives are transparent, you hit the physical reality of the project.
Yes, the dirt.
Right, because a spreadsheet doesn't pour concrete.
Yeah?
You can have the most beautiful, tax-advantaged financial model in the world, but if you can't actually get the factory out of the ground, the project dies.
Which is where the concept of the shovel-ready site comes into play. And it's a term that gets thrown around a lot, honestly.
It's totally a buzzword.
It is, but the playbook defines it with brutal strictness. Just having available land is completely useless to a site selector if it isn't completely de-risked.
I always think of this using like an IT analogy.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like a company looking for a site is basically looking for an operating system where they can just install their software, their business, and hit run.
I like that.
They want the drivers already updated, the firewall configured, and the network live. It's the difference between buying a move-in ready house versus buying an empty plot of land.
Right.
If they buy an empty plot of agricultural land, it's like being handed a motherboard and a soldering iron and being told to build the computer from scratch.
Yes, exactly.
You have to petition the city to run water lines, you have to fight for environmental clearances, you have to beg the telecom companies to lay fiber optics.
That analogy holds up perfectly, especially when you look at how the Fulton County IDA operates their portfolio. Yeah. They don't just market empty fields.
Right.
Take their Tryon Technology Park, for instance.
Yeah, that's a big one in the playbook.
It's a 515-acre campus that they proactively transformed into a shovel-ready hub. They didn't wait for a company to show up and ask for utilities.
They did it beforehand.
Exactly. The IDA already went in and secured the development-ready zoning. They already upgraded the transportation access so the local roads can actually handle heavy industrial freight traffic without buckling.
Wow.
And they ensured massive water and sewer capacity was already active right at the property line.
And critically, according to the playbook, broadband connectivity.
Oh, yeah. Essential.
Because we aren't talking about, brick and mortar textile mills from the 1950s. We are talking about highly networked, data-intensive logistics hubs.
Automated manufacturing floors.
Right. If you don't have redundant, high-capacity fiber networks already in the ground, you aren't even in the conversation.
And all of this physical preparation directly services that 24 to 36-month timeline we talked about earlier.
Because time is literally money.
It is. When a site is genuinely shovel-ready, you bypass years, literally years, of municipal red tape. Think about the domino effect of a delay.
Oh, it's brutal.
If a company buys raw land and the local zoning board delays an environmental permit by just 6 months, what happens?
The entire cascading supply chain fails.
Yep.
The specialized construction crew you booked has to move on to another job. The hundreds of millions of dollars of custom robotics you ordered are suddenly just sitting in a shipping container.
Accruing massive storage fees, yeah.
Because the roof isn't even on the building yet.
And most dangerously, your product doesn't hit the market on schedule, which allows a competitor to capture your market share.
And there goes the CEO again.
Exactly. This is why the playbook emphasizes a profound conclusion from corporate leadership teams. Certainty and coordinated review processes actually create more value than simply finding the lowest cost dirt.
That makes total sense.
Yeah, a piece of land that costs $100,000 more, that guarantees you can break ground tomorrow, is infinitely more valuable than a cheap plot of land that might tie you up in local litigation for 3 years.
Okay, so let's assume the site selector found the Holy Grail.
The perfect site.
Right. The incentives are transparent. The land at a place like Tryon or maybe their Johnstown Industrial Park is fully shovel-ready. The permits are stamped, and the facility is built on time and under budget. The power is humming. The servers are online.
It's beautiful.
It is.
Right.
But now you have a massive, empty, state-of-the-art building. You have to actually turn the machines on. Who is going to run this place?
That is the operational cliff every expanding business fears.
Right?
Because the building is just a shell without specialized human capital.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Because there is a very specific, almost counterintuitive detail in the text regarding the workforce.
Yeah, this part surprised me.
Right. If you or I were tasked with finding a place to hire 1,000 people, we'd probably just pull up a census map.
Oh, for sure. Look for the biggest city.
Exactly. Look for the highest population density with the highest unemployment rate. Just play the law of averages.
Makes sense on paper.
But the text says corporate clients rarely ask, how big is the local population? Instead, their primary question is, can we hire and train people here consistently?
It's the difference between looking at a static pool of water versus an active flowing pipeline.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
Because a massive local population is completely irrelevant to a high-tech manufacturing facility if none of those people possess the specific certifications required.
Right, like to operate the CNC machines.
Exactly,
Yeah.
or to manage the automated logistics software. The playbook highlights the perspective of the Site Selectors Guild, which stresses looking through a comprehensive, multi-decade lens.
But wait, how does a county actually prove that?
What do you mean?
Let's say a proprietary electric vehicle component manufacturer is looking at Fulton County's Crossroads Business Park.
Okay.
How can a local community college possibly know exactly what proprietary robotics training that company is going to need, like 5 years before they even break ground?
Right.
It feels like a chicken and egg problem. You can't train the workforce until the factory is there, but the factory won't come unless the workforce is trained.
That is the exact friction point that separates proactive regions from reactive ones.
Okay, so how do they solve it?
A prepared region doesn't try to guess what the proprietary tech will be. Instead, they prove they have the institutional agility to adapt their curriculum instantly.
Oh, wow. Agility.
Yes. Site selectors aren't looking for a college that already teaches Company X's proprietary software. That's impossible.
Right.
They're looking for documented historical partnerships between local school districts, community colleges, and regional workforce boards.
So they want proof of past performance.
Exactly. They want to see that when a new employer arrives, the local educational infrastructure can immediately spin up custom certification programs, apprenticeships, and flexible manufacturing annexes.
Okay, I see. So it's about proving the mechanism of collaboration exists.
Yes.
Because if a company builds a facility designed to operate for 40 years, they are effectively marrying that community.
That's a huge commitment.
It is. They need to know that the local education system is capable of graduating a fresh cohort of qualified technicians in year 5, year 10, and year 20.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When a region can slide a dossier across the table that proves their local community college has a track record of adjusting its engineering syllabus based on the needs of the businesses in the local industrial parks,
That's huge.
it sends a massive signal of long-term labor stability. It completely de-risks the human element of the expansion.
Which honestly sounds like an administrative nightmare for the company.
Oh, it is.
Think about what we've just outlined. A single corporate expansion requires navigating complex tax code abatements, engineering municipal utility hookups, securing local zoning variances, and orchestrating curriculum changes at local colleges.
It's exhausting just listing it.
Seriously. Expecting a corporate executive sitting in an office 3 states away to parachute in and manage all those local political and civic dynamics is absurd.
It is absurd, and it's exactly why projects fail when companies try to go it alone.
Yeah.
This is the final and perhaps most critical piece of the site selection puzzle, the presence of professional economic development partners.
Signal 5.
Right. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the local IDA shouldn't just be a marketing firm that hands out glossy brochures and disappears once the real estate transaction clears.
Right. They can't just be salespeople. They have to be the local Sherpa.
The Sherpa, I love that.
Yeah, they have to guide the company up the mountain, carry the heavy bags.
That's a great way to frame it. Professional economic development teams, like the folks at the Fulton County IDA, act as the connective tissue for the entire life cycle of the project.
Okay.
A site selector needs a single, unified point of contact who can get the mayor, the head of the zoning board, the utility executives, and the community college president into the same room on a Tuesday afternoon to solve a problem.
And the playbook specifically notes that fast communication and reliable data from these local partners are the ultimate trust builders.
Absolutely. Speed is trust.
Like, if a site selector asks, what is the specific load capacity of the wastewater infrastructure at the Crossroads Industrial Park?
Okay, yeah.
And the local partner says, oh, give me 3 weeks to commission a study. The region is dead to them.
Oh, 100%. They're out.
But if the local partner pulls out a binder and says, here are the engineering specs, here's the exact cost to upgrade if you need more, and here is the pre-approved timeline from the Water Authority.
Ooh.
Right. That's how you win billion-dollar investments.
Because it goes right back to the core philosophy, eliminating risk. The Fulton County IDA playbook isn't just a theoretical wish list.
It's their actual operational manual.
Exactly. It's a reflection of how they actually manage their own portfolio, which includes diverse environments, like the Hales Mills and Vale Mills development areas, alongside their heavy industrial parks.
Right.
They have systematically built the physical infrastructure, the civic partnerships, and the data repositories to answer every single question a site selector might ask before the question is even spoken.
It's all about doing the homework before the test is handed out.
Such a good way to put it.
When a site selector presents their final matrix to the corporate board, you might have 3 or 4 locations that technically have the raw acreage and the basic labor pool.
Sure, they all look fine on Google Earth.
Right. But the location that ultimately gets the green light isn't chosen because they have the flashiest marketing video or, because the mayor took the CEO out to a really nice steak dinner.
No. It is chosen because of comprehensive, verifiable readiness.
Readiness.
Yes. The infrastructure is in the ground. The tax frameworks are legally codified. The educational partnerships are active and funded. And the timelines are predictable to the month.
Wow.
That level of operational confidence is what allows a board of directors to confidently authorize a massive capital deployment.
So what does this all mean?
Yeah.
If we synthesize this entire deep dive for you listening right now, the ultimate takeaway from the Fulton County playbook is that modern economic development has nothing to do with competing in the moment.
Nothing at all.
By the time a company announces they're looking for a new headquarters or a new manufacturing hub, the game is largely already over. The winning region did the work 5 years ago.
And that is exactly why this behind-the-scenes process is so crucial to understand whether you are a local business owner, a voter, or just, a curious observer of your local economy.
Absolutely.
The next time you drive past a massive new corporate campus or you see a specialized technology park being carved out near the highway, you will understand that it wasn't a lucky break.
It wasn't a dart thrown at a map.
Not at all. It was the direct result of years of invisible preparation, targeted infrastructure investment, and meticulous civic alignment happening quietly in the background.
It really changes how you view your own town.
It does.
You start realizing that the boring city council meetings about wastewater management or the local community college passing a new curriculum budget,
Right.
those are actually the foundational building blocks of a multi-million-dollar economic engine.
It absolutely is. And this raises an important question, something for you to mull over as you go about your week.
Okay, lay it on us.
We've spent this entire deep dive looking at how meticulous preparation, radical transparency, and the promise of predictable timelines act as the ultimate magnet for massive corporate investments.
Right.
But how might that exact same philosophy of reducing friction apply to our own lives?
Oh, wow.
Think about it. If you run a small business, or if you're leading a team, or even if you are just trying to attract better opportunities in your personal career, are you making it easy for people to invest their time and resources into you?
Oh, that is brilliant. Are you shovel-ready for the opportunities you are asking for?
Exactly.
Have you built the infrastructure before you pitch the project? I love that framing.
It changes everything.
It really does. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the hidden, high-stakes world of corporate site selection.
It was a blast.
We highly encourage you to look at your own local industrial parks and the economic development agencies operating in your own backyard with fresh eyes.
Definitely.
The next time you drive past one, you'll know exactly what you're looking at. The culmination of a very long, very deliberate pursuit of certainty. No blindfolds and no darts required. Until next time.